Alright, now it's time for my life in 2013. So, of course, 2012 was really a banner year for me. Like, my life changed so much. 2013 was just as big, if not an even bigger year for my life. So, the year started off with me being really into Temple Run and playing Eden World Builder all the time. My YouTube channel was starting to have a little bit of success, and we returned to 7th grade after winter break. And the first memory of that year, or the first big thing I guess, was I got really into Thrift Shop. The song Thrift Shop really blew up the start of that year, and I was so into that song. So yeah, my typical day, I go to school for 7th grade. 7th grade, overall, after I went through that whole depression thing, the rest of 7th grade was okay. Early in the year, I joined this website called OCD Tribe, where it was, a lot of other fellow people with. It was this website, well, as it says in the name, of a bunch of other people with OCD. I don't even know if it's still up to this day, but I used to spend a lot of time on there because, I found a community of other people with the same problem, and it actually helped a lot, and we all helped each other and stuff. So yeah, and I made videos a lot. I played Temple Run, Eden. That was my typical day. All my friendships were going really strong, and yep. And then see, April, things are going pretty good. Yep, alright, so then Todd's house started becoming the main house for our friendships. It was like my house where we would usually hang out, but around this time it started becoming Todd's house that we would all go to and hang out at. Me, Patrick, Todd, and Corey. And Todd's house, his house was great it had a great and kind of chill environment. And they got this trailer. They had this trailer out in their front yard, and that became our hanging out spot. We would hang out in there. And then we all started getting into Minecraft. So I started drifting more towards Minecraft and away from Eden, and I actually started exploring the survival mode. I feel like that's what happened to a lot of people. They started off just playing creative, and then they actually gave survival a chance and got into it. Well, that's what happened with us. We actually got into survival and started playing that a lot. In hardcore. Hardcore was really fun too. So we started all really getting into Minecraft, and we'd spend the weekends at Todd's house, in the trailer, and yeah. So anyways, so yep, 7th grade finished off. We had a Michigan Adventure field trip the last day of the year, and that was awesome. That was the first time there since I was 5 years old, so it was awesome. And the summer started. So the first month of summer, June that year, was awesome. It was mostly at Todd's house, in that trailer. I mean, we actually spent the night in the trailer. We got really into Schmo Yoho, and yeah. Alright, May 3rd, 2013. So, very similar to Corey, just over a year earlier. I had this new friend on the bus. He was just a bus friend at first, named Mason. And one day, he actually came over to our house, and me and Patrick were there messing around, and Mason showed up, and he started hanging out with us. And just like Corey, on my channel, we actually have videos of that first day of our friendship. Mason, pretty much they were all on the trampoline. We were just like playing on the trampoline. Mason was only 12 years old at this time, and that was the official start of me and Mason's friendship. And it started off pretty strong. To this day, our friendship hasn't been as strong as like Patrick, Todd, or Corey, but he's definitely been a great friend through the years, and we're friends for life too. So, yep. So, the first month of that summer was pretty much like us at Todd's house, mainly in his camper, playing Minecraft. And then Mason, Todd, Patrick, and Corey, they would play Call of Duty a lot, which to this day I still have yet to really get into a Call of Duty ever. But they would play it all the time. I would just watch them. And then, you know, we would watch YouTube videos. We were really into Shmo Yoho. But yeah. So, it was an awesome time. You know, we stayed up all night. We got really into Songify, you know, which Shmo Yoho led us to. And we would mess around, make our own, like, terrible songs on there. But yeah. And then my 14th birthday, I actually spent the night at Todd's house. That was actually my first birthday ever that I wasn't at home for. I mean, I remember I went home for a little bit, but I stayed at Todd's house because Todd's house was like the thing. And the summer kept going like that until about the middle of July. Now, mid-July, all of a sudden, like, there was this one night that my grandma Connie invited us all, our whole family, to spend the night at her house. And it was amazing. Like, it was just so much fun. And I decided to spend a couple more nights. And within the period of a week, all of a sudden, I like fell in love with grandma's house. It was like a whole different environment, and I fell in love with it. This was the first time ever that I really figured out how much I liked her house, and I started going there a lot. Like, I started spending a lot of nights there. And then July 19th, 2013, one of my cousins named Joey came over and spent the night with me and Jess. And that started our very short-lived friendship. But yeah, and you know, we played Minecraft together on our iPods. And yeah. So for my 14th birthday, once again, I didn't actually get my present on my birthday because we couldn't afford it. So the next week, July 1st, 2013, I got my iPod Touch. This was like my first major present that wasn't like directly a game console. So as you know, in August the year before, my dad gave me his iPod Touch 2nd Gen. So now, I got upgraded a little less than a year later to an iPod Touch 4th Gen. Now, the big thing that came from that was that I was able to play Minecraft now. Because before that, the only way I was able to play Minecraft was at my friend's or like on a computer, which didn't really run well. So I never really was able to play Minecraft too much until I got this iPod Touch 4th Gen for my birthday. And I got a bunch of other games, so I got into that. And that's when I really switched over from playing my 3DS XL to an iPod Touch, which was new for me. I'd never really gotten into mobile gaming that much since I was like a little kid with my dad's iPod. But yeah, so that was interesting. I played like Bejeweled a lot, Temple Run still, Jetpack Joyride, a lot of like big mobile games. I was really into those. And of course the other big thing was I was able to now record, I actually had something that I could record videos with and post them. This was a first for my life too, because in the past, all my past videos were recorded with like a friend's iPod or like my dad's or something, but now I had my own iPod Touch that I could record and upload videos, which was awesome. So yeah. So anyways, I started going to grandma's all the time and spent a lot of nights there with Joey. You know, our friendship was going pretty good for a few weeks. And then August 10th, I remember my grandma and grandpa went on their yearly adventure out to Washington State with my cousins. So that ended being able to go to grandma's house for the rest of the summer. Which, because me and Joey's friendship was completely based on being together at grandma's house, me and Joey's friendship ended with that. And to this day, we haven't really hung out like once since then. Even though he's my cousin, he has no social media or anything. So we've never hung out since then. And that was our friendship, just those 3 weeks. So the month of August was pretty much a return back to like what June was, you know, spending lots of nights at Todd's house with the whole gang and stuff. So, you know, the summer went on, you know, it was really fun and stuff. So now, because 7th grade was honestly garbage for me, I made a decision that for 8th grade, I was going to do online school, which I did. So the thing is, my mom and dad have a history of doing this, like messing up dates. For whatever reason, they thought that my online schooling didn't start till September 19th. Turns out, it actually started at the end of August. So I effectively got like 3 extra weeks of summer that year. I had like an extended summer. I remember August 30th, my sister got an iPod Touch, and then we got a new Wii, and with Super Mario Galaxy. I never owned the original Super Mario Galaxy before, so I got into that for a little bit during the month of September. But now my friends were in school, so I only really got to hang out with them on the weekends anyway. But yeah, you know, me and Mason's friendship was still going pretty strong. You know, he was very similar to Corey. Like, he would come over even on weekdays a lot. And you know, personally, I've never been a fan of that. I always like waiting till weekends to hang out. So, you know, just like Corey, he kind of annoyed me. I mean, not him personally. Like, you know, I just don't like hanging out on weekdays to this day. But anyways, so other than that, our friendship was going pretty strong. Patrick had an awesome 13th birthday party on September 13th. It was pretty late. It was like 3 weeks after his actual birthday. But yeah, he had an awesome birthday at Skate Estate. See any other? Oh yeah. So as you know, I've been really into music charts ever since like I was 13. I actually started my own music chart. It was called J-Chart. Or no, it wasn't back then. I don't remember I think I just called it like the top 10 songs or something. But anyways, yeah. And like the way I made it was very unprofessional. I was like still a kid. But yeah, and that's what I was doing back then. As for YouTube, I wasn't making as many videos. I was really into like playing games at that time. And in August, Eden World Builder actually got an online forum, Eden Forums. It's still up to this day, but it's been dead for a couple years now, which is so sad. But anyways, so yeah, Eden Forum came out, and so now the Eden community was like booming, and I was a part of that, which was turbulent to say the least. There are some very bad memories on there. I was very immature, and we started arguments all the time on there. It was really toxic a lot of the time. But nonetheless, I spent a lot of time on there. So September 19th comes along, and I log on to this new online school thing. And that's when we found out I was 3 weeks behind, right from the start. So I was off to a bad start right away, and I had to catch up. But so that's really when my school year started. Oh yeah, and then September 3rd, The Fox, that song came out. It's crazy. I can remember to this day, I actually, when it was like on the most popular or whatever, I still remember watching it for the first time, literally like less than 24 hours after it came out, which is crazy now because now that song's like part of history. But yeah, like I remember right when that song came out and like we all got really into it. It was like a guilty pleasure because, you know, it's kind of a stupid song, but it is one of my all-time favorites. It's on my top 50, so. But yeah. And so then my school year started. Yep. And so I remember like early October we had the MEP test. That was the last year we did it. Because it was just kindergarten up to 8th grade. So that was last year we ever did the MEP test. Yep. And spoiler alert, my 8th grade school year sucked. I ended up hating online school. Not only is it harder, but I ended up actually like craving people. You know, I actually missed being around people. Now, they did have these, it was Connexus. I did Connexus. They actually had these live classes, which was essentially a live stream with like a chat with all the students. Those were awesome. Those were my favorite. Because I would always like mess around in the chat. And I feel like this is the first time really that my class clown personality started forming. You know, I started kind of becoming a jokester. I feel like this was the year that started happening. But yeah, other than that, online school sucked. It was like, there's hardly any memories this whole school year compared to like any other school year in my life. Because I wasn't around people, so. And even on the weekends this year, school year, I didn't really hang out with people that much. In the meantime though, my little sister JoJo, you know, she was now in kindergarten. She was having like a friend renaissance. Like, there were these kids just down the street who would come over all the time, and, you know, kids from school. So JoJo was having a friend renaissance. So yeah. So things were going okay. You know, I still played Eden a lot. Yeah. So then, yeah, JoJo would always have friends coming over. But yeah. And that's pretty much how the rest of the year went. Oh yeah, I started really getting into music charts. Like, more than before. I actually started, like, finding a whole bunch of other music chart channels on YouTube other than just Billboard. And, I started getting really into those. I just got really into music charts in general during this school year. And literally, a work day for me would be having like 5 tabs open with other stuff, and then like anytime mom would walk in, I would actually do my work for a little bit, and then I would just go and watch YouTube videos or something else. It was a mess. My 8th grade school year online, it was such a mess. But anyways, so I was really into following the music charts. I got really into this song, Love Me Again by John Newman. My gosh, I was obsessed with that song for a few months. So, the year ended off with that Christmas, which I got pretty much the only thing I really got, well, I got a Bible, which was awesome, but I got like a few, like 3DS games, which brought me back to my 3DS XL a little bit, but not enough to really get me back into the 3DS. I was still too attached to like my iPod Touch. You know, still played Eden all the time. Oh my gosh. I literally spent like so much time on that game. But yeah, that's pretty much how things were going back then. And yeah. So that was 2013. Next up, my life in 2014.